What is up, guys? Dan the Marketing Man here. I'm back for another video again, and I'm showing you guys how to start an Smma with $0 in 2023. Okay, we're gonna get into depth as far as like the 3 things that you need to begin, and I'm gonna even show you how to take action towards the end of the video. So make sure that right now you press like on this video, you subscribe and hit the bell because it's free and it really helps me. Algorithm, please save me. All right, guys, with that said, let's get into the top 3 things that you need to start. Number 1, you need to identify a niche and pick an offer. Now, this is really not as hard as everybody thinks. Like, the easiest way to do this is to go to YouTube right now and type in how to run Google ads for blank, and then just see the suggested options that it has on YouTube, right? See what niches are trying to run ads on Google, just as an example. You could also find another pain point for them, like, you know, how to do branding for e-commerce, how to do email and text for e-commerce, and just see, like, you know, what videos are popping up. Once you've identified a niche and an offer, like a problem that they have that you can solve using Go High Level or even outsourced work online, then we go to step 2, which is creating a video sales letter. And actually, I'll just give away mine for free. If you guys want it, in the description, I'll include an entire free slideshow that you guys can use for a video sales letter. And the third thing you have to do is now attract those people, or at least find a list of people to do outreach for. Once we have these 3 things, we can start doing outreach via phone calls. You could also do cold email. I've done also social media organically in the past, and I've done cold emails. So like a couple ways to do this for social media. The first simple way that you should be doing this is like by building, even if you want to build a brand new social media account on Instagram or Facebook, what you do is you make an account, you make it look like a real person, because you are a real person, right? Like, put real posts of you, you know, statuses, things that you want to talk about. But more importantly, you're typing like quotes, you're typing statuses, you're posting memes about the niche that you want to be doing. For example, if you're in a solar niche and you want to be attracting solar companies, you could post memes about solar. Here's an example of one that I posted on Facebook that actually went pretty viral. This was around October of 2022, so it's just like kind of like Halloween themed, and it was really funny. So as you're making these posts, you have like real posts of yourself. People start to see that you're a real person, but right now you don't have any new friends because you're a brand new account. So what I would do is that I would actually find groups on Facebook for solar, right? And I would just start posting the same memes that I post on my profile, but on the account, right? People start to see you, they start to like your stuff, they run up the numbers, and they're like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. I've seen his face, you know, his face before in the group sometimes. Just posting engaging memes and contents and like quotes for whatever niche that you're in will get you attention. Once you've done that, you should be DMing the people who are interacting with your post to try to get people interested in what you have to say. And at this point, you know, you could use a cold call script. That's the one that I've always used, my basic cold call script for mortgage when I was doing that. Maybe you guys have seen my cold call videos for that. If you want the free script, it's free. It's in the chat, right? It's in the chat. It's in the description right now if you guys want that. So yeah, those are the 3 main things that you need. And that's like a quick, like, you know, how to, as far as like social media organically goes. Okay, now let's get into it. We've been talking theory for a little bit, but now I want to show you guys the real stuff. I'm going to show you guys real results of me putting in the work when I first started my agency and how you can do the same. So let's get straight into it. Now, what we're going to be discussing today, again, is pretty simple. Understanding why cold outreach and setting appointments is the only way to get deals. I'm going to show you live case studies of me doing what I'm saying. And then I'll even take you guys where you want to go as far as like creating systems to leverage your time. And then, of course, lastly, taking action. So again, let's get straight into it. Filling your pipeline, okay? 80% of all sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. So think about that for yourself. The next time you think, you know, how many times am I following up with my prospects? Step 1 of your pipeline is to identify and develop a prospect list. Focus on proper time management to schedule projects and do things like cold calling and do things like sales calls and fulfillment and account management, basic things in your agency, okay? Especially when you're starting by yourself. This was me starting by myself. So how do you get lists of people? You use lead scrapers, like we mentioned earlier in this video. Again, check the description if you need that. Second thing is you filter those people, filter quality appointments by asking hard questions and sending reminders. Hey, you know, if I was able to solve this for you, what would that be worth to you? You know, is there any reason why you wouldn't be able to make it to the call? Asking hard questions to really gauge interest and qualify the person that you're going to get on a sales call with. Step 3, learn to close and follow up with your leads until you get an answer. Fortune is in the follow-up. Again, 80% of all sales are made between the 6th and the 12th contact. Okay, and lastly, using your network of clients and prospects to find others who need your services. This is a great one. My mentor, Ross Christofoli, who's no longer doing Smma, He was actually at one point in his agency, I think he had like 15 clients. He asked every single one of them for one referral, and he freaking doubled his SMMA overnight just by asking for referrals. The best people to sell to are people who have already bought from you. So consider that next time you're working on your pipeline. All right, so let's get into the actual case studies, guys. I started my agency around October of 2020. I actually did make 10K in that first month, but I didn't document anything because I was not organized. So let's get into the second month of my SMMA. You can see right here, once I started really reporting and like checking my numbers, we had a total of 807 calls. 137 of those people answered. Of those, I sent about 56 emails, meaning 40% of the people that I was talking to were actually interested and wanted to see more information. As you can see, throughout this entire month, I spent 20 hours on the phone total, and we actually generated $7,900 in revenue that month. So pretty good, you know, for only literally not even an hour of work a day. Then the second month, I was like, all right, that was easy. We taking it back, and we really got to grind now because it's freaking New Year's, it's Christmas, it's Hanukkah, it's every freaking holiday in the book. So as you can see, I doubled my numbers, 1,600 dials, which doubled the live answers, 262 live answers, and only 62 emails sent. Now, why did that conversion drop? Because I think a lot of it had to do with the holiday. People weren't really focused on that, but I was also kind of filtering and qualifying people on a cold call, so I knew who was really serious and who was not. So in the beginning, you should be going for volume the same way I did, and then over time, starting to qualify them more and getting rid of, you know, a waste of time lead. And you'll be able to see that as you know, go through your SMMA. Anyways, you can see we ended off that month with $10,295 in revenue. So yeah, not bad. And that was by spending, what is that? 31 hours on the phone, basically. So yeah, about an hour a day, not bad. The only other thing I was doing at the time was LinkedIn, and you can see right here, not including these two middle campaigns, we had 137 replies, 7 appointments, and 2 deals. Now LinkedIn right now is very hard to do as far as like automating that, because they've put a lot of like nerf, I guess if you want to say that, they've like nerfed outreach on LinkedIn, so it's very tough unless you do like, you know, content on LinkedIn. But that's just what I was doing. We generated 2 deals for $6,000. So now what? You know what works? You have proof that it works. And then when you have these numbers, right, when you go and you make your 100 dials and you say, okay, if I make 100 dials, I can get, you know, probably 5 people interested, and of those I'll get maybe 2 sales calls and I'll close 1, right? Once you have these numbers, it's like literally adding a gas pedal to your business, because once you have those numbers, just don't stop. You know, you want to get 10 clients? Okay, no problem. Make 1,000 dials or whatever the number is for you. Understand your ratios like I did in the previous slides. Then the second thing, come up with a plan. So now that you have proof that it works and you know what works, how will you reach out to those prospects? How much time are you going to spend this week reaching out? And the third thing, are you actually ready to get new clients? And I don't mean that in some kind of like motivational rah-rah type way. I mean that like, do you have like a white label yet? Do you have like a good offer? Do you have a freaking sales script? Are you ready to receive literally a client? So now with this said, I want to share a story with you guys. This is a story of 2 salespeople that started doing SMMA. Or actually, I think the example is in a car lot, but either way. So we have Agent 1 versus Agent 2 on day number 1, right? They're both starting out. On day 1, Agent number 1 spent the day reading books on sales. You know, he's watching everybody else, really trying to understand what he has to do to get deals. He wanted to be perfect and didn't want to mess anything up. Agent number 2 on day 1 knew he had one freaking problem. It was getting customers. So he started, you know, approaching customers, cold calling them, realized that he's garbage. So that night he actually Googled a new method of how to get people interested on the phone. Again, if you guys want mine, free link in the description, free script. Day 2, Agent number 1 saw that one of the other agents got sued for selling defective cars. And he spends the entire day researching all the cars on the lot because he's super worried about getting sued. Agent number 2 on day 2 learned the new trick on Google, right, that he learned last night. He actually got a deal, but he messed up his other 2 opportunities very badly. And he started Googling like, okay, if I negotiate better, you know, maybe I won't have that same mistake. Day 3, agent number 1 talked to agent number 2 and he realized, oh yeah, maybe you're right. I do have to learn how to negotiate. Thank you for that. And agent number 2 on day 3 sold 4 cars and he learned that he can actually sell even more if he discounts the leather seats. So on day 4, agent number 1, freaking afraid. Why? Because agent number 2 had an angry customer come in and demand a refund. And he was freaking scared, man. He fixed the issue, right? So agent number 2 actually fixed the issue by setting better expectations, and then he actually went on to sell 6 more cars. But agent number 1, bro, was super scared by the freaking angry customer. So he spends all day researching, and he's like, man, I never want to make sure, I want to make sure that never happens. Like, I'm going to do more research. You see where we're going with this, right? Day 5, I don't know how to do typos, but day 5, agent number 1 still has no real world experience. He's freaking scared still because he hasn't taken any action, and he's on the brink of getting fired. He's been studying hypothetical issues the whole time. And so finally his manager's like, bro, agent number 1, you got like no time left. You got to close the deal or you're done. He tries to sell that day, but he just can't. Meanwhile, agent number 2 made a ton of mistakes throughout the 5 days, but he sold 11 cars. And now he knows how to fix those problems. In return, he gets offered a promotion and a bonus check. Let's go, agent 2. So again, now for the hardest part of this entire training, it's taking action. So what are you going to be like, agent number 1 or agent number 2? It's time for you to decide. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell again because it's free and it really helps me. I have a really small community right now, so if you guys want more details or have questions about this video, please leave a comment because you can see I always respond to them. And if you guys want more details about how you can start your own SMMA, or even if you want to have a conversation with me free, absolutely at no cost, literally check the description right now. There's links in there for you. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys when I see you guys.